Alright, welcome to the channel. So this first video is going to be a part of a series where we're setting up our lab environment. We're going to be setting up a Windows 10 VM without a local user account, so you don't have to add an email. There's a couple tricks with this on ESXI. The first thing, you're going to create a new machine, name it, call it Windows 10. I'll do underscore because I already have Windows 10. ESXI 6.5, yeah, it's outdated, but this is just a local lab. Nothing's internet facing or anything like that. Alright, select Windows 10. We're going to choose our data store. So right here is kind of important. We're going to give it 8 cores, but if you leave it at one socket here, it's only going to read it as 2 CPUs, so you're going to want to change this to 8 cores per socket. And a couple other things you want to do here. We'll give it 16, around 16 gigabytes. And then for the disk, we'll give it, say, 50. Here's another important part for your network adapter here. If you have it connected, it's going to connect to the internet, and it's going to want you to add a local account. So if you click this connect button, it'll disconnect it from a network, and it'll basically turn the VM on with no internet access, and that allows you to set up an account without having to put an email in. All right, finish that. We'll fire this up for the first time. Funny, it would be nice if we if we gave it an ISO image to power off for. So let's edit the settings here, and where we select our CD drive here, we change it to our data store so we can select our Windows 10 image. Here I pulled the Windows 10 image. You can see this comes from Windows Microsoft Creation Tool. You can download this, and it'll allow you to upgrade your PC to Windows 10 or create an ISO that you can burn on a USB or DVD to boot from. So now that we gave this device the ISO, you should be able to boot now. And there we go. Alright, now we're getting the Windows setup screen. I'm in the US. Okay, don't have a product key. You can choose any of these. Let's just go with Windows Pro because it has a couple more features, just in case going down the line if you're going to continue to use this VM. Sometimes Home can limit you on some of the stuff. So if you were upgrading, you would click this, and if you had like Windows 7 and you were upgrading the Windows 7 VM, you would click this option, and this will allow you to upgrade to 10. But we are going to install only. This is the 50 gigabyte storage that we created. Hit next. Alright, now that the installation's finished, it's going to reboot, and that's where we're going to actually create the user account. For ESXI, you don't have to unmount the ISO image. So if you're doing it on something like VMware or VirtualBox, you might need to unmount, or it might try and just boot into that USB again and not actually load the Windows that we installed on the drive. Alright, so that took about 5 minutes to get through the startup there. So now we can actually start to add the local account without adding an email. So normally right about now it would prompt you to sign in with a Microsoft account or anything like that, and you do not want to connect to a network. I don't have internet. And then continue with limited setup. So here's where you can create a local user. We'll call this test. And we'll just give it a password. Security question. We can just do whatever here. I'll just go 1. I'm obviously not using this VM. This is just to show how to install. Alright, and then you're going to want to uncheck all of these. Cortana, no thank you. Get enough of you, Cortana. Alright, this process can take another couple minutes as well. Alright, now that we are inside the VM, hold on, I gotta change the display first. This is awful. Alright, there we go. Okay, so now that we're in, and what you can do here is it's not going to let you select anything because the interface isn't connected. So none of that's going to work. So what you're going to do is you're going to power off the VM. You can shut down from in the host, or you can power off through there. And just a reminder, this is ESXI, so if you're using VMware and VirtualBox, it is going to be a little different. Alright, now that's off. We can edit settings here. And we can connect this VM network here. So now it'll have internet, and now we can power it back on, and then we can run updates and get it fully functional here. Alright, now you can see that it's attached to my network. Share will allow it to be discoverable. So we got connected to the network now, and now it should be running updates. God, this display is awful. Alright. And now that it's connected to the internet, it should be running, or I guess we can start it running, and then this will get it fully up to date. Obviously Windows 10 end of life is ending here, I think in October, so you're going to want to upgrade at some point. I'll be putting out a video on doing Windows 11 on VMware ESXI, which there's a couple loopholes for it. You're going to have to upgrade a 10 VM to 11. It doesn't natively support using it on ESXI or ESXi 6.5, so yeah, I'll have to show a workaround for that. Another thing I can show here is that it does have the 8 cores that I selected. Yes, virtual processors. If you left that at 1 socket per core, you would be seeing only two cores here, and it would be running relatively poor. Okay, yeah, so that pretty much wraps it up for the first video of this series, where I'm going to be basically showing how to set up a whole lab environment with the end goal to be doing penetration testing videos, maybe a couple hack the box and try hack me walkthroughs and things of that sort. If you liked the video, please leave a comment, and we'll see how far we can get this series to go. Thanks everyone.